loaded in. He must
We
be
are
back
indeed.
from the toilet break. And we are now waiting for the first 1-versus-1 duel. This is going to be worth 1 point. Each team needs to win. Well, they need to win the majority of these. There's going to be a total of 4 1-versus-1 duels, and whichever team takes home most of those, the majority, gets a point. So it could be 5 duels, because if each team gets 2 wins, then obviously there has to be a decider. So that could happen. And we're now waiting for them to start. And if you guys are wondering in chat what airplanes they're going to fly, the Bf-109 F4 is going to be the plane that they fight this entire series of matches out with. No other plane. They have vetoed a bunch of planes to end up with this plane, which both teams are now flying. And we have Snappy Slicer for 306 versus Jimmy Stuff and 56. Well, I'm just saying Jimmy. Jimmy versus Snappy.
And of course, as this is a simulator, it's much harder to see where the enemy is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there he is. I see him now. So now the crossover has happened. They are now fully allowed to engage each other.
I was actually spending the last night reading up on the rules of the tournament, and I was trying to find the chapter on this, and I think they might have updated the entire... Like, I'm not sure if they're still having the crossover as a thing in the one-on-one. They might still have that, but probably in the other rounds, if not in this as well, they actually have, like they had in the special event in the game, where the guns don't work for 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So they just end up doing a crossover. But I mean, it still is a crossover every one-on-one, which technically shouldn't be needed then, but still, if there's a 40-second delay before the guns activate, I'm not sure.
No, like Snappy Slicer easily has the height and energy advantage.
Yeah, it's so important to get up there, to just get to that point. I mean, having just altitude advantage makes it so hard for your opponent. You can just kinda stay up there and just force your, like, wait for your opponent to having to drop down. Obviously in Simulator it's more difficult for you to keep an eye on him at all times. Like, I mean, the angles, you know, you gotta be able to spot him, see him. If you lose him, you'll be like, oh damn it, where did he go? And could end up doing a mistake. I mean, Jimmy's just trying to get his nose. There we go. He's firing, trying to get his nose up, but you know, all the time doing that, losing energy.
Right, he doesn't want to be too aggressive doing it, or else he's just going to stall out.
Oh, he just did. Like, I mean, technically, like, I mean, he was climbing straight up, but I mean, he couldn't keep the nose up. It eventually had to go down because he couldn't.
I'm surprised Jimmy isn't using flaps.
I heard the flap sounds from his plane just a moment ago, though. And here comes Snappy doing a downwards turn here. Let's see what is the plan. I'm thinking
Standard hammerhead.
might be going. Yeah, I was thinking hammerhead as well. But he's not really doing that. Kinda, not really. Jimmy did an upwards turn, loop, whatever you want to call it. Again, guys, this is simulator battle. They're all locked into cockpit view. Keeping an eye on your opponent is not at all as easy as it is in realistic battle nor arcade. Here they have to keep a visual eye. They have no markers on the opponent. They just have to visually see them through the cockpit, which at times can be really difficult. However, these guys are some of the best players and teams in simulator battle in War Thunder world. They obviously have done this quite a few times. They are very this is a natural thing to them. But still, just imagine how they. I mean, right now, like it's almost like you're losing him in the sun, almost like, not, you know.
Well, he probably
Easy
is.
thing to do. Yeah, probably. There are more bullets being fired. Nothing has hit yet. Jimmy is using flaps. I don't know if he has the what is needed to keep the nose up. I don't think he has. He's dropping. Question is what Snappy's gonna do. I've been waiting for him to make a move all this duel.
I do feel like the person on the tail does have an advantage.
Always. Well, here's a hammerhead move, kinda, but it's kind of weird doing it when your opponent is actually right now above you. Or next to you. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if he's even, like... What was the point?
I don't know, but Jimmy looks like he's getting into position just to dive on Snappy.
Because now Jimmy's getting energy, and this, I mean... I'm not sure if he knows where his opponent is, but he's obviously trying to get his nose to where the opponent is. No bullets hit. These one-on-one duels can go on forever in simulator battles. Specifically.
Let's just hope nobody runs out of ammo.
Yeah, I know you have experience with that. There was the MBSI game where there was 2 1-versus-1 duels that took 30 minutes each, making the entire round or match take over 2 hours.
Could have had a halftime show and everything.
Madonna showed up.
It was fabulous.
Don't play that melody. Snappy have a great opportunity here. I don't know. Maybe the turn, maybe the stall came a bit too late because now Jimmy's on his way up. Like it's almost like they're taking turns on who wants to be on top. That's what this is like. Because now Jimmy's going down and Snappy's coming back up. Hey, high five, man.
But you see, it's the person who does something crazy and stupid that'll then get punished for it.
Yeah, I'm hoping someone does that pretty soon.
But it's the person
I want to
who's
see
patient.
some action.
Well, I guarantee this is simulator. First person to get hits on probably will win.
Oh. I would be the one making the first mistake then, because I would be so impatient. Like I am impatient. Bullets being fired, nothing being hit. It would have been hilarious if they collided.
Oh, this is a simulator. That would never happen. These guys are way too professional.
That would not be historically accurate either.
Because it did happen 2 games ago, or 2 days ago. Now that was an interesting game.
Yeah.
So many rams.
And Snappy. And Jimmy. And Snappy. And Jimmy. And Jimmy!
This is what happens when you pick a plane that doesn't like turning.
Yep. Alright, who's gonna be the first to boom and zoom?
I honestly think Snappy is just going to wait until he runs out of ammo before he makes a move on Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy seems to be the one using flaps more than the other guys. I guess maybe I haven't spent enough time listening to Snappy.
No, I haven't heard his flaps.
But yeah, BF-109, in my opinion, in this tournament, out of the pool of airplanes, one of the most boring airplanes to watch. I'm sorry, guys, that's my opinion. I do much prefer, you know, the more turning planes. Heck, the Russian planes. Okay, Jimmy, that could have been damage done. I am looking all over Snappy, but there is none. But it definitely looked like he was firing those straight on him. Oh, he's so unlucky. Unless that is like 2 bullet holes on the wing though. But I mean, even if there is, I mean.
No, those aren't bullet holes.
I like how we're
Snappy
officially...
finally shooting. Doesn't get any hits, but he finally did some shooting.
Boy. I wasn't sure his guns were working.
Maybe he jammed them already.
There is actually rules for regarding the fuel. The players do not have a choice of how much fuel to bring to these matches. However, I do not know how much fuel the rules state, but there is a fuel limit in place.
I mean, alright, first of all.
However, it is probably too generous though.
First of all, why? Alright, let's say the least this plane can have is 35 minutes of fuel, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the BF-109. I think it's somewhere around that amount. Okay.
Mhm.
There is no button that makes it 10 minutes. But let's say the least it can take is 35. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're. Oh.
There you go. Jimmy managed to set Snappy on fire, and it looks to be blue fire. This is not. It's not something he's gonna be able. Oh my God! Really?
Really?
This is not something he's gonna be like. Oh really?
Really?
Well, I want to see him fly
dead,
that
so
plane now. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see him fly that plane now. I think he might be actually jumping out, unless he really wants to stay in this duel.
Back to the fuel. And let's say the most it can take is 2 hours, right? But taking those extra 2 hours of fuel is going to increase your weight by a lot, thus making your plane slower and less maneuverable. Which one would you take? The 35 minutes or the 2 hour? You would blatantly take the 35 minutes. Even
yeah, I would take.
You would always take the smallest amount. What you don't need 2 hours of fuel.
That's true.
So I understand that, you know, we should make them use the least amount of fuel. They do.
Yeah. They do. I mean, the rules in the tournament actually.
His engine restarted.
Start his engine. Wow. Did he really manage to start his engine?
I don't think it's critted then.
Oh, he's like, oh crap.
But it died again.
I think he can't.
I don't
really
understand.
Why?
How can it restart and then die? I don't understand.
Jimmy is just like he's trying to restart it. That's what he's doing.
How do you if it's dead, it's dead. There's no in between. I've never been in like.
Oh, you just don't know engines very much, do you? Like, of course you can start and start. It's just not gonna stay started. I think. I mean, I don't know
in War Thunder, it's either it's alive or it's dead.
There's a simulator. You just haven't been in it.
Maybe.
You know it, like.
He's
really trying though.
He really wants that engine to go.
He's sitting. He's going like there. He's like. I mean.
He's hitting that I button.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to like. I'm imagining him trying to start a lawn mover, right? Where you pull that string. He's like. Come on. Well, to answer Twitch chat, here he is to finish it off. To answer Twitch chat, and Pilot was sniped. This is an esport tournament. They are here now to fight over prizes. They are here to become the best of the best. I am pretty sure that the participants here do not as much consider what is best for show and what is best for them to win the match. They are gonna do what they can to win the match. They do not care about what looks good. Like, really. I'm sorry. I mean, we also wanna see some action, sure. And again, there's rules in place. There's a whole organization called Gladiators who have a whole, like, this is one of the few tournaments where you don't go and check the rules. You're like, oh, there's 3 rules. Like, there's a whole freaking 100 of rules for this tournament. I'm over exaggerating now, but there's definitely a lot of rules in place to dictate and set how, within which boundaries they do fight these matches in. And feel free to go read up on those. They are all posted on the official War Thunder forum. Go check out the tournaments, gladiators, regulations, and there you go. You have the whole rule page book ready for you to read and take part in. And you can obviously leave feedback if there's anything you feel is good or bad, stuff like that. Then leave feedback to the organizers so they know what you think. And maybe they'll do some changes, because there's been changes to the rules over the gladiator tournaments that is happening. This is the Super Cup of the second gladiator tournament that happened last year. There was actually 2 gladiator tournaments last year, one in the beginning of last year and one at the end of last year. And this is the Super Cup that happens, like, they qualified, the winners, the top 8 teams of the West and the East qualified to participate in the Super Cup, and that is what we're now spectating.
Yeah, the one at the beginning was obviously the East teams, and the one towards the end of the year was the Western teams. So the one that was most recent was obviously all the Western teams that signed up.
No, there were actually 2 tournaments at the end of last year. There were East and Western at the same time. Yeah. And the first tournament, 2014, they never split the teams. They had all the teams all over the world in the one tournament. That's why there was no Super Cup. Anyway, OEM versus McClure. I'm gonna enjoy these names. I already see a Dr. Hans. Oh,
again, I'll let you do the names.
Oh, I'll enjoy doing the names, and I'm a name expert.
Well, if you get it wrong and I copy you, I can just say it was your fault.
Oh.
That's how I do it.
Alright, and wow. Oh, he didn't hit though. Well, McClure was the first to fire there in what seemingly could have been a head-on if it wasn't for the fact that OEM, well, pretty much did not put his nose down to make that a head-on.
Yeah,
he's now coming back around though, and that is... I mean, they're kind of passing each other back and forth there, which is an interesting tactic.
Yeah, most people don't like going head-ons, do they?
No.
They don't want to put their plane in risk.
And I think OEM is the one with better energy here. McClure can't get his nose up, actually. And OEM doesn't want to put his nose down for that. Well, he's actually now going downwards here to obviously try and... he's trying to get on the tail of McClure, I would
like
assume.
he could get his flaps out to get that extra lift in the turn.
I mean, you and I are not experts in the simulator mode. Obviously, we're pretty decent at the aspect of the flying of the game. But I want to assume these guys are really, really good. But yeah, there's so many times I feel like where you and I go like, well, the flaps could have helped. I mean, really. Like, if you can at least get on the tail of your opponent and turn a little bit better, then why not? The flaps are being used by McClure, so at least someone here knows that the flaps do help.
I don't think it's what OEM doesn't know. He just might not think now's the right time to use them. Obviously, he would have lost a lot of momentum and a lot of energy, because you're obviously going to create more resistance. But the extra turn power, as soon as though this whole thing is two guys turning in a circle, you would have thought you want to turn that circle better than the other guy. And how to do that? You want your flaps to go.
Yeah.
So I feel like while the disadvantage of, yes, you lose momentum, are outweighed by the fact you can actually, now that you're on the tail, you can actually stay on the tail and slowly turn harder and harder. Because as you said, if McClure hadn't put his flaps down, OEM would slowly but surely just rotate and keep catching up as, you know, McClure would just unsuccessfully just keep following. But yeah, you can just constantly hear McClure just changing from what I would presume is combat flaps to landing flaps to raised.
No, I entirely agree with you. I mean, the flaps do make a difference, and maybe that's what made McClure take a pot shot there. Like, he got around a little bit more effectively than OEM. OEM is now actually trying out a hammerhead. It's not going to work much because McClure is seemingly... Like, the thing to counter a hammerhead is to actually have the momentum to come around like this, and look at McClure. Almost.
You know what's funny is I feel like had he had gone straight up and not rotated to the right, he probably would have been okay, and he probably would have got a few shots onto McClure. I mean, that's all that it takes in Simulator, is a few shots. A few shots to the wing, a few shots to the tail, doesn't matter where it is, just a few shots is all you need to make that plane so much less effective than your own. And I mean, seeing as though damage is just, you know, increased in such vast amounts, you know, you could even potentially kill somebody with just a few shots.
Yeah. I'm so surprised that the earlier matches today that you spectated took 20 minutes each, and here we are 20 minutes later watching the second one versus one duel.
We got to remember that we were watching RB games.
Actually, sorry, I'll make that like almost 30 minutes.
But this is Simulator, I mean, think about how much harder it is.
Oh, yeah. You're entirely right. You're entirely right. In my mind, for some reason, they were simulator battles.
No, they were
right,
realistic.
They were realistic. That makes a whole bunch of difference. Because as we all know, this is simulator battles. They're locked into cockpit view. They have to keep an eye on. All right, yeah, you're right. It's not as strange anymore. And McClure, if you can finish this, you sir just did though.
Guarantee he's got flaps out.
Oh, guaranteed flaps. Well, not right now, buddy.
No, but he had them out. See,
yeah.
Guess who didn't have flaps?
Yep.
Unfree.
Flaps wins.
Flaps wins every time. I'm loving that nose of his playing with the I guess that's the American
I like that too.
thing.
Is that American decal?
I think so.
I'm not sure it is.
Well, it might not be. But it looks like that American, the Golden Eagle thing. Not the Golden Eagle that they use.
The Golden Eagle. That's not what.
Bald Eagle. There we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not an American decal. Anybody know what that decal is, guys? In Twitch chat, you guys usually sit on all the good information. Just tell us what decal is that green. It looks like a parrot, honestly.
So now we're all squared up.
Yeah, each team has won a duel each. Here we're going for the third 1 versus 1 duel. The parrots from Common Decals. Shamden says.
As we wait for the teams to spawn in.
And we have Onufri flying out for 306 versus Rottweiler, which makes me want to say Rottweiler, flying out for the RAF.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm sure Unfree won most. I think when we watched him a few months ago, he was really good in his 1v1s. I'm sure he normally won most of his.
And I think so too.
So I think that's why we used to spectate 306 quite often. That
Yeah.
and BSI. Any hits? Any
And
hits?
Onufri did get the first shots off.
No hits though.
No hits.
No hits.
Oh!
So that's what happens when people can actually hit in a simulator game.
Yeah.
Things explode
actually
instantly.
I was looking at Rottweiler, so I almost didn't see from where that came. I was not even expecting that. That actually came as a surprise to me.
That's what the sun can do.
Well, this means if 306 wins the next 1 versus 1 duel, they take the first point. If RAF wins the next 1 versus 1 duel, we're gonna go into a 5th one to decide the entire thing.
I swear if he lands this plane. Oh. So this could be either a tiebreaker scenario or 306. Sorry, or RAF. No.
The 306 that is ahead here with one duel.
Yeah, I think the arbiter wrote down RAF by accident.
Oh, yeah, that must have been a mistake.
Yeah, so it's like I'm sure OE enough for he just won that last round.
Yup.
I was saying just like that says RAF. And I was like, oh, RAF needs to do is win this next round, but wait.
No.
They
Well,
lost
or
the
they
last one.
do to put it in a tiebreaker.
Right.
Maybe that's what he meant.
As we wait for the teams to spawn in.
And it is Dr. Hans on the RAF team versus the Dot. Dot.
I know you've been waiting for ages just to say Hans.
Hans, yeah, Hans. I think Hans is gonna win because he's a doctor and he knows what to do when in an airplane.
So as we initiate the dance of death, Dr. Hans.
Hans!
Almost onto the tail. He needs flaps. Please put flaps out. House nicely.
Come on, you. Oh wow, I don't know what Dot is doing here, but if this is a chicken race, then I don't know. Like
He's obviously trying to pull away and gain some momentum.
Gain some serious momentum. I mean,
that's a ground.
Something happened. It could have been a disconnect. Oh! Wait. That might. Okay, here's the
look
thing.
in chat.
Oh shit! I don't have chat. I got no rudder. Restart. Oh. No rudder. Restart. Lose. We shout at our arbiter. Well, we don't get an official word yet. We'll see what the official word is. But since they, here's the thing though. Since both crashed like almost simultaneously, as they did, that
I am
like,
worried though.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Either the arbiter goes like, well, this is a draw, which means the 306 wins, or they do a restart.
In all seriousness though, an arbiter didn't call for a restart.
I would have never crashed my plane if I was
right.
Hans.
The only person who called for a restart was OEM.
Yep. So we'll see what happens.
So I feel like that's cheating. Not like, oh, he's done something terribly wrong.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's wrong of them to type in chat like that. They should not say restart. I know the rules state the only one allowed to talk in chat like that is actually the arbiter. The chat is really there in this case just for him to announce what happens here, and we'll just have to wait for the official word here on what the ruling here is. Unfortunately though for Hans, if the ruling is that both crashed within, what was it, 15 seconds, then that is a draw, which means that 306 still wins the duels, the 1 versus 1 duels. But however, since Hans did crash his plane because of OEM calling out a restart, then there should definitely be a restart, or maybe even a point for RAF. But this is all down to the arbiter to make a official decision, and that is what we're waiting for. He's probably right now trying to understand what happened.
I think he's just going to go restart his computer. Or restart, plug whatever it is back in and out.
I'm pretty sure I said 306. If I said 206, I obviously had... I obviously made a mistake. I'm sorry there.
I mean, normally what would happen is if two guys were flying and one of them was both were critically damaged and one of them crashed and the other one survived, then that's a win. If both were to ram into each other, that would be a draw. So...
Now, well, the thing is this, like, there's a rule that says that if you shoot me down or I crash, right, you gotta stay up. You, as my opponent, has to be flying for 15 seconds.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not, like, considered. But here we go. There is a restart. And from what I hear, I mean, from chat here, Dot is saying thank you for restart, RAF. So it seems that RAF might have been the guys deciding that,
yeah.
Alright, let's replay this.
I think they might have even got a decision to you can either take the point or you can just restart.
Yeah.
So I
they're
think
taking the honorable way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there would have been another 1v1 anyways.
The reason the first guy crashed, guys, seemingly We don't know exactly the reason, obviously, but for some reason his rudder didn't work. Is the only thing we got from chat. You know, if that was a glitch in his game, if that was a bug, we just don't know. But anyway, they're replaying the round, so we'll still see who comes out on top here.
Let's hope his rudder is working this time.
Well, there's definitely some rudder going on because he is climbing. Hans is trying to get on his tail. I think they're both going to be stalling out here, and I think Dot might have had the better...
Yeah, Hans doesn't look like he's got much control of his plane at the moment. It was kind of wobbling all over the place as it was stalling.
Yeah, well, that was a proper wow.
That's what happens when you lose control of your plane.
This is when Hans goes like, yeah, no, we're not doing a restart.
I've changed my mind. Right, I thought we won this round.
Wait, what?
I think that's the second quickest simulator 1v1 we've had. I think there has only ever been one that was faster than that, and that was when the two guys crossed over, came back, and then rammed into each other. And that was a draw.
Well, 306 then takes home the 1 versus 1 duels, and that comes with the first point in this series. Means we're gonna move into the 2 versus 2, worth 2 points. There's gonna be a total of 2 versus 2 duels, where again, if it ends up being each team winning 1 each, then there's gonna be a third to decide who's the winner, and that's worth 2 points. Wait, what? Did I just read that right? Did you write 0-0 in match extra round?
He did.
I'm not gonna get involved. Did we really miss it? Is that the case? Did we miscalculate who?
So Dot won his, and Unfree won his. Snappy lost his. So OEM must have lost his too.
I feel like I missed one entire 1 versus 1, or entirely missed who won it. But I'm pretty sure that the teams would have argued for their sake, right? Like I'm gonna assume that we just miscalculated here. Because I'm pretty sure the team who would have been winning would have been gone like, arbiter, excuse me, we won.
You're wrong.
So OEM versus Jimmy is what's up here.
So now this is most definitely the last 1v1.
Yeah, okay, here's what's up. Whoever wins this 1 versus 1 right now takes home the point in the 1 versus 1 duels.
Wasn't
OEM
OEM
is
and
doing
Jimmy
it.
the first 1v1?
Yeah, but I can't remember who won it. Because obviously whoever I think won it doesn't matter.
No, but
I'm
what I'm
assuming
saying
Jimmy
is that
won
was
it
the
then.
20-minute long one.
Yeah, might be why.
Oh, I heard some flaps.
Oh yeah, flaps being used by OEM.
Is Jimmy using flaps? Doesn't look like it. I think OEM's going to try and stall out Jimmy by just climbing straight up. If you can just turn inward, there we go. Now he's on the tail of Jimmy. He just needs to pull up. Please be using flaps. Or just a little bit of flap action. Doesn't get any hits off, unfortunately.
OEM is using those flaps to great extent. But OEM is on his tail though. Like if any one of those cannon shells connects, it's the end of Jimmy.
Oh, absolutely. So now OEM with an
OEM
absolute massive advantage.
Yeah, and he doesn't really use some flaps at the moment though. The advantage is coming from the energy.
Yep, because he had the height and slight speed advantage.
He can pretty much, yeah. And here, okay, here
Hammerhead.
we go. Hammerhead move.
Here it comes. The end is nigh. I can sense it.
And if it, now it's just about getting control of the plane before Jimmy goes too much into that climb. And unfortunately for OEM, he doesn't, like, it was not the best of timings. And Jimmy actually almost getting the sight on OEM there for a second. Trying to stay up here to make it difficult for OEM to get on him.
The dance of death continues.
And apparently they figured if 20 minutes wasn't enough the first time around, they're gonna spend at least 20 minutes in this one as well.
No, if it's not worth doing, yeah, you gotta do it right. I mean, again, if you were in this situation, you know, you're in a tournament situation, there's a point in it. You don't want to rush it, take 5 minutes to try and get that quick, easy win, fail, and then lose it for your team.
Oh yeah. Whoever loses this is gonna be hated through the rest of the year. Well, maybe not, but it sure is a lot of pressure being in the deciding round. I mean, if there was a choice, I would have put what's his name? The guy who won the previous 1v1.
Unfree.
Yeah. And now they're really turning around about this, but with not using flaps OEM, which Jimmy is doing, Jimmy is turning better, as can clearly be seen. Now I heard flaps. I think I heard flap sounds on OEM. Maybe.
I can't see them down.
No. It sounded a little bit like it, but yeah. You gotta realize there that... Oh boy. However, whatever Jimmy... Oh, what? Really? Wait, OEM missed... Oh, this is simulated battles. Everything is happening from cockpit view and... Oh crap! Actually,
Yeah, I
Jimmy stalled
saw
out.
that stall, and he could have easily
Yeah,
killed
but
him.
OEM still, yeah, and he had a choice there to, you know, roll around and come towards him there. He actually had a much better choice there. Now he did get a second chance here, which didn't go well enough, but yeah, he definitely had a much better chance there earlier. Instead, I mean, it's easy for us. We're in third-person view, so obviously, again, very easy for us to tell.
Hindsight
yeah,
2020.
Definitely. Eagle vision. 1080. Well, another hammerhead kinda stalling out here for OEM to get his nose down. He's getting it exactly where he wants it to be. I would have used flaps right there. Well, maybe he doesn't even need to. Ooh.
No, he did. That extra lift.
Yeah.
Would have. This is the third time. The third time he didn't have flaps and needed that lift to get his nose up far enough to be able to hit his opponent.
I love being the backseat, backseat gamer here.
It's the most powerful position you will ever be in.
Yeah. I mean, it is honestly a huge mistake not using them there.
Jimmy,
it might be as simple that he just doesn't like think about it or forget about it. Like maybe, you know, there's a lot of pressure. I could give him that, but yeah, I don't know. But here we go. If you don't finish him off now, you're entirely at your own fault. Oh Lord. Flaps. You... Shit. All right, give me his phone number. I'll call him. He'll be like, yeah, I'm in the middle of an airplane flight here. Flaps,
use the flaps, Luke.
Use the freaking flaps,
Use the
Luke.
flaps.
Oh, it would have been hilarious if Jimmy got him there.
Were his flaps down?
He doesn't seem to want to trust the flaps enough, but he might be getting... I mean, he's getting Jimmy served on a silver platter so many times here. And I feel bad for Jimmy, who's actually using the flaps. And it's not the reason why Jimmy's getting served, but oh really? Well, I mean, OEM gotta run out of bullets soon.
Right. Again, that's what Jimmy's waiting on.
If Jimmy can just hold on.
Jimmy is just waiting on the fact that he runs out of bullets and then he's no longer
shit.
he no longer has to worry.
Oh shit!
There's a mountain.
There's still no damage done. It's amazing. And Jimmy's just... It's like, I'm gonna be close to the water, but not touch it.
Flaps, please.
Flaps, please.
You know, if I was Jimmy, I would try and get him to overshoot. Put my flaps maybe to landing
Ooh.
and get the overshoot.
Well, now I would not... Now is not
No,
the time
that's...
to do stall maneuvers.
No, that's pretty close to the water.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a lot of height to work with.
And OEM, however, has a lot of energy. He's like, I'll go upwards, turn, come back down. Wow, it's amazing how Jimmy...
Oh,
okay,
there's a crit!
Damage, a lot of damage. Just a lot of damage. And
There's a lot of holes in that plane.
Being so close to the water now, I'm yeah. That is plain enough. He's actually gonna hit the water. Not able to pull up.
He needs those flaps.
Doesn't matter.
Flaps would have helped. You would have. I guarantee you would have pulled out that had you put them to landing flaps.
Okay, sure. Patience paid off, but seriously, wow. I think my one hand here with 5 fingers is not enough times where OEM could have won that or could have been in such a much better advantage when firing, when aiming, when trying to take out Jimmy if he would have used the flaps at certain times. And he just like, no, flaps, not for me.
So who's ready for a 2-hour-long game?
Fucking 2-hour game. Alright.
Get ready.
Okay,
sit down and relax.
I mean, it's already been an hour, so...
Right. Hour and 14 minutes.
Oh. Hey guys, if you guys are wondering how to do a 2-hour long tournament match in the Gladiator tournament, then here's the textbook. They've obviously watched MBSI
Oh my god,
fight
yeah.
against Wolf, and they went like, "Oh, it's the 1v1s where we must go very long," and freaking hell yeah, that's what they've been doing. Wow. Okay.
I'm glad we're not the only ones who are getting annoyed by the fact he's not using flaps.
We're not the only ones.
Right?
For those watching this on YouTube eventually, I'm sorry that you can't see the Twitch chat, but we are not the only ones feeling they should have used flaps.
Alright, so who's on the left? 306 is on the right. Okay. So there we go. The scores are now updated.
I gotta say, the theater mode on Twitch is an amazing thing. It's almost full screen. It's as close as it gets, but with the chat there.
But with the chat there.
It's like going to the cinema, but being able to talk.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. It's like when you're sitting there with your friend and something awesome is happening, and you're like, I can actually, instead of whispering in his ear sensually, I can actually go like, "Hey, that was awesome!" Instead of, and without people going like, "Shh, shh, shh," That's how theater mode is. It's like the theater, the cinema experience, and being able to talk. The Twitch chat has fulfilled us. Oh, if you want to catch the previous matches that has been covered by me and Adam in the Super Cup, you can go to Metagamingtv on YouTube. Just search for Metagamingtv on YouTube and you should find them. There's 2 or 3 matches currently being rendered that will be up there probably later tonight. Most likely after this match.
Mm-hmm.
And we have OEM Snap and Snappy Slicer for 306 versus Dr. Hans and Rottweiler for the RAF. And whoa, that was interesting. It wasn't that close, but it was interesting. OEM upwards climb, which Rottweiler does too.
So I mean, it just looks like we're going to have 2 1v1s for a little bit. Until somebody decides to go and assist their teammate.
Which is a very common thing to have.
Especially in a simulator. They're like, they'll either wait until the guy dives. So if RAF was to dive and sort of start flying away from his teammate, and OEM would go, alright, here's my opportunity to go and assist my teammate. Because now Red would have to then use all his energy to then turn back around again.
Ooh.
And then would then have to start flying towards his teammate.
But here comes Hans to try and take OEM with... And
then Snappy comes in after.
On his tail.
I mean, that's the disadvantage of doing this tactic, but look at OEM had to obviously dodge and avoid being shot there, so he's obviously lost a little bit of energy in his maneuver. So hopefully, or potentially...
Oh, Hans is leaking oil and stuff. He has Snappy to thank for that.
Right, potentially.
There's a lot of damage done to the... I think the engine is... Well, maybe he throttled down. He might have been throttling. Oh, no, it's actually... The engine is dead. With the elevators being pretty damaged as well, Hans is out for the count here. OEM is being fired at by Rottweiler, who probably couldn't keep the nose up.
No, he looks like he's stalled and gone into a spin.
Hans is coming back around, but unfortunately he's just going to be gliding.
He's his head to look good.
Oh, Rottweiler was shot down by Snappy, and Hans then seemingly is the last person on his team alive, and I think he's actually just gonna crash the plane. I don't think he's even gonna try.
Yeah, he was pilot sniped. Snappy pilot sniped Rottweiler. And then we got to saw a fabulous simulator landing. Well executed there, Dr. Hans. I'll be using that tactic next time.
306 taking the first 2 versus 2 round. This means if 306 can win the next 2 versus 2, they take 2 points, which would be pretty good for them if we're going into the 4 versus 4. For RAF, it would obviously be a good thing to win the next 2 versus 2 to draw it out, forcing a third 2 versus 2 round to then decide who gets the points. Nobody really being the decisive winner of the entire series yet, obviously, because the 4 versus 4, no matter how this goes, the 4 versus 4 will, in one way or another, kind of decide the fate for a few of them here. For a few of them, for one of the teams.
So as we wait for everybody to ready up, and for the Arbiter to start the match, as Scream said, 306 do win 1.0. If they win this 2v2, they'll obviously go 3-0 up on Royal Air Force. So as we wait for all the teams to spawn in,
And we have Onufri and Dot for the 306 versus Meckler and Jimmy. I just want to go. I'm thinking South Park.
don't even think about it.
Jimmy!
First of all, it's Timmy.
Yeah, I know, but it's close.
But second of all, can Jimmy manage to make a 2v2 last for 20 minutes? That is the real question. Does Jimmy have the endurance? Does he have the skills to lay it onto the table and go, do you know what? I made that 1v1 last a long time. I can do that with 2v2s too. Just watch me.
Just watch me.
Just watch me.
Jimmy!
Come here.
Jimmy! Sorry. Dot! We could actually make like our whole, you know, internet, what do you call it, like a domain name here, having onufri.gemme. Kind of funny, right? That's geeky jokes. Geeky jokes.
That sounds like a
for the
terrible domain
geeks.
name.
Yeah, obviously, because, you know, Jimmy would make that website load for 20 minutes.
Oh my lord. All the images.
All the images. Alright. Bullets has been fired, nothing has been hit from Onufre on Meckler.
So standard, 2 guys from both teams just go into a 1v1. Essentially, we're just waiting for somebody on one of the 2 1v1s to make a mistake, and then have his teammate swoop in, kill the dude, and then basically win the game single-handedly. I'm not gonna lie, but that is the best feeling in the world, where your opponent, or your teammate, sorry, is in major trouble, you then see a really good opportunity because the opponent has made a massive mistake, stalled out, and you just fly over and you just one-shot him, and you're just like, yes! Saved a teammate, won the game.
Oh! Engine hit. So... something leaking it up on the through. It's not as black smoke as I'm used to, but it definitely looks to be oil. And or coolant, like both. Overall, engine hit. And that's pretty much the damage that has been done. And coolant leaking from Dot.
So the 306 guy is not in a good position at the moment.
No. And Jimmy is about to... well, he's closing in on Dot here, who's using the terrain to his advantage when turning here. Which is nice to see.
He is getting rather close to that mountain, but in all seriousness, it can also be a massive downfall. Because if all Jimmy needs to do right now is tap lightly on his wing, and all of a sudden that plane could just shift to the left and he could be into that mountain faster than anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's making it harder for Jimmy to obviously see his opponent or, you know, have an eye on him. Like, because now he actually is out of the vision, and he gotta be like, oh, I wonder what he's doing.
He just tapped the mountain.
And that's what Dot did. You know, at the same time, it could have happened to Jimmy, and that's obviously maybe what Dot was hoping for. But this time it cost, the gamble did not pay off for Dot, it paid off for Jimmy. So it's now Nufri, very, oh my god, I missed what happened over there, but his elevator, his left wing, he's not even gonna get above this mountain.
Yes, he is, I believe. I mean, if you use flaps, like,
well,
he
if
didn't
he
do any
emergency
of
land now, we might save the pilot, but not the sheep. That's probably hurting over there. Yeah, but the fact he's still holding on to his airplane here and trying to do anything is remarkable.
Alright, first of all, I've never noticed there are houses here, and second of all, who builds a house here?
Hey.
What?
You know, you ever heard of Scotland?
Okay, point taken.
Yeah. Alright. Meckler is coming in to finish off the... well, no, first just go... there you go, okay. You could have let him hit the mountain by himself.
Yeah, I think that was a bit Darude. That is the rudest thing we've seen all day. Not letting your opponent die by themselves. I do think though, if you do try and land, I think the plane is classed as dead.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no landing and repairing and well, there is no place to repair anyway. But
right. But
if you land the airplane, you considered out.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why anybody would land.
Well, I mean, as I said, instead of holding J and just jump, you know, it's kind of the same. Like I would do that for the funsies.
Land somewhere and try and hide in the trees.
Land somewhere and hope your opponent doesn't know the rules.
Doesn't realize what's happened, and then Jay's out himself.
He's like, where did he go? Well, I mean, again, they have the capture in the middle anyway, so it wouldn't be a good idea. Again, each team has won a 2 versus 2 duel. This means we're gonna see a third 2 versus 2 duel. You know, just because obviously we want this series to take at least 2 hours.
We want it to be a competitor with the NBSI game.
We wanted to, yeah, we want to give NBSI a run for their money on taking the longest to finish a series of matches. I think actually that game is like, I mean, it's 2 hours and something. It's like it's beyond infinity. However, we're gonna see a third 2 versus 2 here to decide who gets the 2 points. So whoever wins now will be the receiver of these 2 points that they're both fighting hard for. I didn't see who entered the match for each team, but I am assuming the winning pair of each team.
OEM is actually in, I think. Or
I mean, they could be mixing it up. There is like, obviously, they might not have that, you know, hard-picked pairs.
So yeah, we have Snappy and OEM versus Jimmy and Mukla. So Mukla, obviously the winning team from the previous round, going up against the mix of 306.
Mm.
I also feel like maybe OEM's here because he really wants revenge on Jimmy. He wants to, because right now they're technically on 2-2 for 1v1s, you know. Jimmy's 1-2 and OEM's 1-2 because obviously they had that rematch and then they had the 1v1 in the 2v2. So now I feel like he really wants to shoot down Jimmy. It's more of a, what is it called? A vendetta.
Yeah, could definitely be that.
It is kind of weird how the teams seem to split so far away from each other.
Mm.
I have always wondered, because when we did play, we kept quite close together. We didn't really split off. We kind of stayed in the middle, and then as the enemy came towards us, we would then split and choose who to go on.
Mm. Yeah, it is interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't want to leave my teammate too far on his own. He might need help, and I might be able to offer that, so I wouldn't want to be too far away from him. I mean, obviously it's a simulator and you can kind of lose track of distance as though you don't really have markers. 1 minute your teammate could be like half a mile out, next minute he's like 5 miles out.
Well, Jimmy, not afraid of using those flaps. Oof. And Snappy spun there for. Oh, yes! Seemingly sounding like I'm actually rooting for someone here. But Snappy is now damaged. There's black smoke. He's leaking oil. Jimmy just showed me right there why using the flaps is such a good thing sometimes.
I gotta say, I'm surprised. I thought Jimmy was gonna just fly off and leave him. It looked like he was gonna just go, meh, that plane seems pretty dead. Let's just leave him. But he's decided to actually stick around, and I think that might actually be the better decision. You don't want to leave a plane that, sure, you don't know, like, sure, there's a lot of, oh, the engine is dead, but there is a lot of smoke coming out of that plane. You don't know, like, there hasn't been any kind of crit message, so you might be a little surprised on all of a sudden seeing this Snappy Slicer right behind you going, oh, hi there. And you've just left him on his own to climb up again. Much better to kind of half finish an opponent. Like, if they're on fire in like 3 different locations, you can just leave them. But if they're just billowing black smoke and you haven't really had a crit message, you should really question whether or not that plane is still flammable. And if you're questioning it, that means you don't think it is. So you should probably go kill it.
Well, they're both teaming up now on OEM here.
Who has been
definitely
on his
that's
elevator, it
been
looks
quick.
like. Yeah, it looks like OEM got a few shots off and managed to hit his tail.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look very bright here for OEM. There's not, like, with those damaged elevators, there's really not much you can do in a 2 versus 1 fight. I unfortunately for him. However, good for RAF, who seemingly here is winning, which would mean that they get 2 points, which means that the next round, 4 versus 4, is going to be the deciding round for the entire match. Like, whoever wins that wins the series.
It's kind of funny how Snappy's still here. I was like, who's that plane with all the black smoke? It doesn't look like the RAF guys were damaged. And then I look down and go, oh look, it's Snappy.
It's Snappy just gliding along.
He's just enjoying the scenery. He's gonna go see if he can find those houses. And pick out a nice spot for his country home. Yeah, this is what happens when you're a 2v1. You just start getting ganged up on. You try and outmaneuver one guy, you lose energy. Try and outmaneuver the next guy, you lose more energy. And you just keep losing energy. At some point, you're just going to be on the ground, barely able to stay above the ground, dodging trees and other buildings, and then all of a sudden one of the opponents will just come in, swoop, pilot snipe.
Well, OEM is freaking spinning now, and I honestly don't think he can do anything about this. Actually, oh yeah, did he jump out because of landing gear, or did he put them out to actually try and do something about it?
I think he's trying to do something about it, but I don't think he's going to be able to do
yeah,
anything.
it's unfortunately a bit too late.
That plane was rotating in some weird ways. Like, first of all, it
Oh
started...
yeah. Well, after the landing gear came out, it was like, woo! Let's try this. Oh, I'm spinning in a whole different way. Nice.
This is fun.
This put a spin on the spin. And for some weird ass reason, we still have. Oh well, there we go. Snappy eventually.
Was Snappy still alive?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he was just about hitting the water, so.
The irony of his engine died like 10 minutes ago. Still doesn't die before OEM. So that means the RAF take the 2 points in the 2v2. Which does mean that the 4v4 can't end in a tie-break situation.
No, exactly. The 4 versus 4 will be the last round that we'll see in this series, and it will be the one deciding who wins the series. Since it's worth 3 points, it will either be a 5-1 score for RAF, or it will be a 4-2 score for the 306. We'll see if they do any type of break, which they sometimes they take a 5-minute break at this point. Even if they don't, this is a great time to mention the fact that Rocket and Cytec is the main sponsors of this tournament, and obviously there is a 5-minute break. So you know, we'll take a moment here and take a peek at the Rocket ad video for their new mouse, which has a freaking fin on the back, which looks awesome.
Meet the Rocket Tie-On, featuring the brand new Rocket Accelerator analog thumb paddle, giving you unrivaled command capabilities. The new Rocket Fin Switch, letting you execute multiple maneuvers at the same time. 4 ergonomic top buttons, instinctively placed so that you can hunt for prey, not for buttons. Meet the new standard in gaming mouse control.
So yeah, guys, as Scream said, there is a 5-minute break, and you did just see the Rocket try on gaming mouse with the. I think we did manage to get somebody to get one, and I believe Scream is going to get one, because by the looks of things, it's quite a large mouse, and he doesn't like small mice, and the mouse he currently has is a little bit small for his hands. So I do believe he is getting one too. Anyways, guys, as you can see, the score is currently 2-1 to RAF. Whoever wins the 4v4 will be going through to the next part of the loser bracket. Again, we're just waiting here for everybody to ready up. This game has nearly been as long as, you know, a normal professional. What, they're 90 minutes, so that's 60, an hour and a half. So we've had an hour and a half of simulator battles going on.
So it all comes down to how long it comes down to how long the 4 versus 4 duel is gonna be. Shit, I had 2 thoughts and they crossed paths, and shit happened. I'm actually gonna look up that rocket mouse. I'm actually really curious about if they are selling that where I live.
I think they also have it on Amazon.
Here it is, Rocket Tyon gaming mouse. Holy shit! I'm just taken by the look of this thing. Like, I mean, I've seen the ad, but damn, how many buttons does this have? Like, hey, you wanted buttons? We added buttons to the buttons. We pimped your buttons with extra buttons. Holy wow! And actually, it looks amazing for huh. Well, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I actually there's a white. I usually don't like white, but they have a white model, or like you get it. Yeah, you can get it in white, and the white it's not entirely white, so it's just parts being white on the black, and it's kind of nice looking. Even though I know that would I would go with black anyway.
If anybody's wondering what we're talking about, we're not talking about pimping buttons. We're talking about the Rocat gaming mouse.
Is the name actually. Rocket Tyon gaming mouse. All action multi-button gaming mouse. It is one astonishing looking mouse, honestly. I just wish this the site I'm on had more close-up big pictures of it, but they don't. And we're still waiting for them to ready up here. I didn't put on a timer. They said it was a 5-minute break here, which is what we're waiting for.
Yeah, we really need to start putting a timer on, just so we can go to the arbiters. 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You said there's 5 minutes. So apparently there's 16 buttons on the Rocket Tyon mouse if you needed. If anybody needed to know how many buttons it's on the Rocket mouse that you've been seeing in the ads, there's 16. So,
Does that include the left and right mouse button?
I would assume so. It usually does. What I was gonna say is though that I myself is like I would probably not be able to keep track of 16 mouse buttons. I would be like, I would know what the left and right does, the scroll click, the thumb. That's 4. Yeah, I don't know what the others do. Like that would be my problem.
You would obviously set them.
Yeah, but I wouldn't remember them. Like that's my issue would be like, Anyway, we have entered the match. We have entered the 4 versus 4. This is the last round, guys. Whoever wins this 4 versus 4 wins the entire series. Here's how big this is. Whoever loses the 4 versus 4 right here, right now, is done in the tournament. They are out. They have no more match to play. So the winner moves on to play another day. The loser is done for this time in the Gladiator Super Cup. No pressure.
No pressure whatsoever.
The question everybody's asking, however, and I can't remember who it was actually, is will the 306 guy use the flaps?
OEM. Will OEM use flaps this round?
That's the question.
That is the
asking.
question on
We should have
lips.
a ping pool going, will OEM use flaps? The odds are not in his favor. Rottweiler, Jimmy, Meckler, Dr. Hans flying for RAF, Snappy Slicer, Onofri, OEM, and Dot flying for 306. Nappy almost collided with Jimmy. In his pursuit for Hans. Oh! I heard damage. I'm yet to see.
I can't see any crits on the battle log. I'm currently watching OEM follow Jimmy.
I'm browsing.
For the 4th time this game.
Didn't I hear damage? I'm pretty sure I heard an explosion. Was that just me?
Yeah, I think
Oh
that was
well.
you.
Okay.
I am sure OEM has a vendetta against Jimmy. I am sure of it. He went after him again. It's like he did it in the 2v2, 3 sets of 1v1s. So
There has to be some blood between them. Some bad blood, I guess.
he's out for revenge.
Oh, actually, there is left damage to the. What is that? The flaps on the Rottweiler. That might have been what I heard.
Yes,
Onufre is
that's
on
bad.
his tail, trying to seal the deal.
But then you've got a conga line being formed. You've got Dot then on the tail of McClure. Oh, our first death. Jimmy shot down by Snappy Slicer.
OEM critically damaged by Jimmy though. And OEM set on fire by Jimmy. Holy shit.
But he has stopped the burning. But his plane looks pretty
But
dead.
his plane is as damaged as can be before falling apart. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that many bullet holes in a plane and it still actually is seemingly flying. Well, actually, he's seemingly flying straight towards the ocean, so... yeah, he's out. Oh, come on, do not pull out of this.
Use the flaps. Use the flaps!
Oh, I heard it!
There we go.
Use the flaps. Well,
So
here
I had-
comes the mountainside. Which is a pretty big mountainside. Oh my god. This is the most interesting part of this round, is that he might not be able to... Oh, so close! Meanwhile,
We have 2 versus
we
3.
haven't been shut down by Jimmy. Well, that's what just happened. Dr. Hans critically damaged by Snappy. It is Hans and McClure against Dot, Onufre, and Snappy. This is not looking good for RAF. Hans is out. His engine is dead. The only guy left on RAF, well, that is actually Hans. I
Yeah,
just missed the McClure shot down. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Well, Hans
unfortunately
is
watching Hans.
Hans is gliding around here. Yeah, I was unfortunately doing the same thing there. Well, 306 seems to be the ones heading for victory here and staying in the Super Cup, moving up to face MNS in the next round in the loser bracket, where they'll yet again have to fight for their survival in the Super Cup, and he jumped out.
Yeah, I have to say, why does the landing gear come out when somebody bails or gets pilot sniped?
I had no idea, man.
That's so weird. Does it only happen in Sim and Realistic, or does it happen in Arcade too?
Good question. Don't know.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters, the Metabusters.
So congratulations to 306 and commiserations to
That's
RAF.
what we should do. We should start up the Metabusters, man. Doing the game myths that nobody dares to do. Like, what happens if I rocket jump in Hello Kitty Online? Anyway, the result stands as is. 306. Sorry, just having a cheat. 306 taking a 4-2 point victory over RAF, or Royal Air Force. Again, RAF being one of the top 8 teams coming from the Eastern Gladiator tournament end of last year, made it all the way here. Obviously, a great team, great players, highly skilled as we did witness in some of these rounds. this is the end of their journey in the Super Cup. 306 will move on to face MNS. I might actually even have the date and time for that. That is on Saturday. That match happens. Will not be streamed, however, unfortunately. However, the next matches that will be streamed will be tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow there will be the loser bracket round 2 versus STB and Wild Spirit in the Realistic Battle tournament or Super Cup. That is the match that will be streamed tomorrow. That happens at 8:40 p.m. GMT. Other matches coming up will be... So far, I'm not sure if there's going to be any match streamed on the 13th. However, there will be actually a lot of matches. There will be 3 matches on the 14th on Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine's date, or you have a Valentine's date, then you could take her to watch the Super Cup here on Twitch on the War Thunder channel. Make sure you follow the channel, guys. We will be spectating then on Saturday. We'll be watching NBSI versus LK in the winner bracket semi-final of simulator battles. We'll also take a look at the what is the realistic battle final winner bracket final between Sky Veterans and White Rhinoceros, 2 teams who have so far. White Rhinoceros has not lost a single round yet. Meanwhile, Sky Veterans has only lost 1 round. They're more or less undefeated so far. It's going to be incredible to see who will do well in that match. Will one side 6-0 the others, or will it be even? What other games do we have? We have the winner bracket semi-final simulated battle between the 159 BAG versus Team Verve Gaming. That's also on Saturday. Other matches will be announced as they happen as we move on in the Super Cup. Whew. All right. How long was this match? It was not 2 hours, was it?
Nope, it was not. It was, once we do the cutting and editing, probably around 1 hour and 30 minutes.
All right. So MBSI still holds the record. MBSI and Wolf hold the record of the longest match so far in the Super Cup, being over 2 hours long.
I do hope they rematch. That'd be hilarious.
you guys can catch that over on the YouTube channel of Metagamingtv. The NBSI match is still being rendered. It's probably gonna take forever. But we have other matches being posted there very soon. This match will be up there probably tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. This is Scream102 and Average Adam, otherwise hosting over on Metagamingtv, where there might actually be some streaming there happening, I guess, in a half hour or so. So yeah, go check out twitch.tv/metagamingtv if you guys want to. There will probably be some streaming happening there in half an hour or so. Other than that, it's been a great night. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow.